Today I want to paint something awesome, and you know, I've had a bit of a rough week, so I'm going to do something really fun, which is those cartoon pictures I like doing. And I was looking for some inspiration. I went through some cool Max Power magazines from back in the day. This was the year 2000, and I just love this cool Peugeot 306. So I think I'm going to be drawing this in a fun cartoon style today, because, well, why not? Right, so I've got like a little pencil line there just to give me a rough layout of like a flat area for the whole car to sit on. Now I'm going to start off with, let me just get everything ready around me. Hold on, because I want the picture in front of me so I can see it for reference. There we go. Okay, I'll probably put the picture somewhere in the video. So start off with the front bumper first. I'm doing this with a brush pen, but you can do this in pencil if you want to, whatever you want. This is just a grey one, so it's not too dark, it's not too light. So this is the bottom part of the bumper. It comes up. I like to get the front wheel arch in first, so that's what I'm working on now. So like that. Now I want the, I'm not using a ellipse tool for this one. I don't like to use them usually, but for this one I will. This is just a stencil for semicircles. Let's see now. I'm trying to think of the best angle to go by. No. See how this looks. Yeah, I think that'll do. And I'm going to do a smaller one just here. I'll keep that edge a bit thicker just to give a bit more depth to the picture. Okay, let's continue with this front end. So I want the, this is where the light's going to be. It sticks out a little bit. And with these cartoon pictures, I try and emphasize all the features to make them more chunky. I think that's what they do with like caricatures of people and stuff. They emphasize the features and that. But I'm not really sure how to explain it because I'm self-taught, so I don't really talk to myself when I'm doing these pictures. Now I'm doing this stage. Now I'm doing this stage. I'm just gonna just do it, if that makes sense. So that's the front bumper. Then we've got these cool fog lights at the bottom. It's got a bit of an edge there. I want to emphasize how deep this is, so I'm going to do the round headlights far in. Like that. And then for the main headlights up here. This is a wide body, so I'm just making sure this sticks out a lot. And edge there. And for the badgeless grille, then this side's going to be smaller. Okay, that's good. Then where I want the top windscreen to go. Top grille bit. Okay, it's looking very strong, very sturdy. It's looking good. So now I've got the front grille. The lower part of the grille, I don't know. So this is going to be the darkest bit here, have this depth coming in. And these lights on this side, again, a lot smaller, because it'll be a bit more on the side profile. And it's got 3 vents at the bottom. So the one here, one there, and there's a little bit of a raised edge. Okay, and for the wheels, let's go back to my lip stencil just for the centre bit. Now I'm just going to create these very big U shapes. Helps to actually turn the paper when doing this, so because the bottom bit is going to be wider, keeping the space between them more, if that makes sense. Okay. Then for the side skirts, so then the rear wheel, let's do it a little bit taller here, a bit there. And this back wheel, let's curve this. Like so. Then the windscreen. Then the side mirror. Then the rear part of the car. Come up to the roof. And a little bit of the spoiler here. So notice how I made the spoiler a lot bigger, the side panels to make it more, the quarter panels, sorry, to make them more impactful. And then bring this down. There's this centre bit. This is just a rough guide because I'm just lightly sketching with this. Some things might tweak and might change, but we'll see how it go. And B pillar there. Let's go with sun strip. Okay, so I think that'll do for the basic sketch. Now I'm going to just start building my layers of darkness and shadow. So I've got a few markers here. These are just the touch ones. These are like from the TikTok shop that I might see. And of course, it doesn't work for this edge. Let's try this edge. There we go. So let's just re-emphasize that bottom line. So I want to get into the darkest areas first. So underneath here, this is going to hang over a little bit. Then to this edge, and in here, under this edge, this little vent, then a little bit of shadow just going down here. And maybe just on this edge. I'm going to add depth to this wheel, so I'm going to do the darkest areas going into the actual car. Slowly feather them out. So this is more towards the car. Okay, we're now about 10 minutes in. Cool. So just down there. This isn't completely black, so when I do some of the final points I will just tweak this with black just to add further depth. And let's get into another colour, a slightly lighter grey. So like this is like a medium one. So let's just build up a shadow here. So I'm just feathering this into the centre. So, and then let's see if I've got even, what's this one do? Is this even lighter tone maybe? It's not working very well with this pen, but it is giving a little bit of a mist. And then once I've done those 3 tones of grey, I can then go to my black fellow here and just go in to create a tiny bit more depth. Sometimes it takes several turns just to get the right angle. Okay, so what I'll do next, I'll go into time lapse and just apply those 3 greys over the whole area of the car and a few blacks, and we'll just take it from there and see what happens. So it's been about 20 minutes, 25 minutes so far. This is the progress I made. I did have a few setbacks here and there. I did go with a white gel pen just around some of these edges. This is a very opaque pen, which I really like. And this is not necessarily like, this is, a lot of the time people apply the highlights at the very end because it's on top of everything. But I did this just to emphasize the shapes a lot more. And I didn't want to get too caught up in things, so I can see where things want to be darkened and some things want to be lightened. I wanted the wide body to stick out a lot, so I created a bit more of a shadow down here to help pull this wheel out. This is a bit stubbly, so I'm going to try and smooth this out. Yeah, it looks really good. As you can see, I tried to darken up this edge here to help pull the wheel in to create more depth. So I need to smooth this bit out just so it looks less stubbly. I was literally just applying a few darks there. Now I can just kind of smooth it out. A little bit of a blue-grey kind of on top of here of the vehicle, the car. So like a blue tone going from this direction and the darker edges up here. Yeah, overall looks really cool. I don't try and like work like a typewriter where I just do one bit, then work across, work one bit and stuff. I kind of just like fiddle here and there. So dots some here, some there, some there, some there. But yeah, it looks really cool. Again, with this wheel, as you can see, I've tried to play it darker at the bottom here and the inside. So, because the wheel is going to be like a curved object, so you want this bit to highlight more, to pull out more, and this bit to curl in the darkness. Likewise to this wheel, where this bit sticks out the most, so I want this to curve in here. But, like I said, this bit is a bit rough, so I'm trying to think what's the best way to smooth that out. Maybe to go back into the original colour I did this in and just see if I can maybe blend that out. So I'll just go around it like that. So that's the area I want to dark. Oh, that looks kind of weird now. So now I want to just feather it this way. This area is going to be darker, so I'm really just pressing quite hard there. This area sticks out the most, so I want that to be the lightest area. This is I want to be the darkest area. And I want this bit to stick out more, so I want this area to be darker. And it's going to get lighter as I go up to the top, so less at the top. Okay, that's looking better. Maybe a little bit on this edge, because this bit's going to stick out more, so this is going to be a darker area. This bit's going to stick out more, so it's going to be darker here. Okay, it's looking a bit better now. I can do the same for so I'm not too, this will kind of just blend everything together, kind of smooth it out, so like a base tone. And then I can use the same technique where I want some things to be darker, so I want it a little bit lighter on the inside of here. Rather than actually going straight into darker, I might just use a white gel pen and just add white highlight at the bottom here. And maybe just a little square here. Maybe a little white square there. And just around here. build up this shape. Okay, so trying to think what colour, so maybe stick to maybe the ice blue for the top. I don't think this pen works very well. No, it's a bit rough, this pen. I'm just feathering up there. Building the tone of these dark areas. So this definitely needs more completing here. This is all rough. So let's just go with the base colour first. Just smooth this all in. I want to make this being a bit lighter. So I'm just more white on this edge. Okay, I want to make this wheel a little bit lighter as well. This lower edge. Okay, so this is the progress so far. It's been quite a while. It's been about a week since I've worked on this picture, just because I've had a few orders to actually do. This isn't an actual order, so this is just on the back burner while more important orders go through. And this is just for fun. But yeah, I noticed it was a little bit too dark from the original grey from the magazine. So I did lighten up a few areas here with a tiny bit of gouache. I didn't want to do this because it's a bit too much effort, but it was going a bit too darker. I also noticed from a further far, I don't like how much this is raised. So I'm going to try and level this off, and I just need some final details in the wheels and a few other things. Other than that, it's looking really cool. It still looks a bit too dark, so I might try and line it up a bit. But we'll see what happens. So for the rims, for example, I'm just going to use a fine liner, because I think it's looking a little bit blurry around these edges, so I just want to make it a bit more crisp. A bit more of a contrast, I think. Just around there. And I will just be combing through it, and a few details here and there. Maybe some extra lines in this light here. Maybe some lines here. And to fix this, I will use a ruler just to see. So this is the base, and if we go up, you can see how much more that's raised. So let's see if I can level this out. So the light kind of comes up to there, so if I put the light maybe here, then this light, so I want the lines to go up there. This line, this thick line there is kind of a dead giveaway. So what I'll do is I'll even it up on this edge. So I'll add apologise for the camera shaking. I'm working on a new desk and it's not quite stable. And then what I'll need to do as well, I think the cut. Okay, then I'm just evening this out with white gel pen. Just kind of fix that slanting problem. Okay, so I think it's looking a bit better. So yeah, let's be adding a few details on these areas. And then yeah, I think it should be finished. So this is the final tweaks of the painting. Just tweak this, tweak that. It's always good, I've noticed when I'm doing paintings and stuff, it's always good to spend the last 5-10 minutes, you know, just combing over it, making sure everything's just right. Because this wheel's kind of slanted, so I'll do the same kind of pattern there, but I'll follow the lines of the tyre, the wheel. Why is my camera wobbling so much? Okay, so I'm going to fix my camera and do the rest of this in time-lapse, but I should be doing basically that. Okay, so I think that's going to be all finished now. I don't want to add any more time into it. This has already gone longer than I anticipated. I don't want to spend too much time doing these extra drawings which don't really have much business merit. I know they are fun and stuff, but I can't just keep doing fun things because it won't really help the business much. But yeah, I think this will do. This has been my cool 306 cartoon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.